Sorry I'm late. Oh, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we got? We've got this one, which is blank on front, and this is like the spell section. So one for spells. Then we have the second one, and I'm thinking this is kind of like, for brews and potions and things like that. This is my original art, my original digital. So we got that on there. Hey, Francis! And then this one, no Wiccan Grimoire would be correct without the sabbats and the reed in it. So I went ahead and I printed those on the front pages of these other two signatures so that they were included. Okay, so the sabbats are kind of like the holidays, the festivals, the seasons. And the reed is a poem that basically encompasses Wiccan values. And, when you're supposed to do things, and there's a lot of meaning in it. This is actually the short version. There is a very, very long version of this poem. But most Wiccans prefer to have that in there, so we copied that as well. Hi, Harry. How are you? So I did a little thinking, and I don't want to do this in a standard binding, and I do not want to do this in the corset. I'm going to do it in a Belgian. And the reason I'm going to do it in the Belgian is because with a Belgian binding, you can lay the book flat, completely flat, which is kind of important. It is a book cover that lays completely flat, so you don't have the cover trying to close on the book. Hi, what? You're very, very needy this morning. You had breakfast. What's the matter? So, I still have not figured out what I want to cover these in yet. I don't know if I want to do fabric on this, or if I'm going to do paper, and if I'm going to do paper, what kind of paper I'm going to do. I've got lots of, mystic type paper pads, but I just don't know which one I would want to do this in. So, and that's because most of the paper pads I have are cardstock, and the cardstock tends to crack when you fold it. So I'm thinking we might do this in a fabric. I just have to figure out what fabric we're going to use. I'm thinking we're just going to use a plain black color for the back, for the spine, but for the covers themselves, I want to do a fabric. So I'm going to go to Joann's today and see if I can find something that I like. I can't go to Snobby because they don't do anything, Halloween-y. But the thing with this one is that the binding is an even number. Okay. So I came in 3/4 of an inch on either end, and then that was 1.5 inches, and my cover is, my papers are 8.5. My cover is 9. So, so when I came in the 3/4 of an inch on either side, I took this down, and I was able to put in the right amount of it equaled out. Okay. Let me get this straight. Yeah. So it equals out. And the way this one works is you cover these, and then we're going to poke some holes, and then we're going to fold this in half, and we're going to mark those holes onto our signatures. So, hello, Carla. So I thought we would start today just by getting these cut out and, maybe making some journal cards. because I don't have the fabric that I want yet. So let's get this trimmed up. Yeah, so we're going to go with a Belgian, which is a really beautiful binding on its own. That one. And hopefully, yeah, that'll work out. All right. So I'm just going to get these all trimmed out and again. I apologize for being late. I had a thing. Just a little thing, but you know, it was a thing. Let's see. Had to wait on the elevator. Oh. I hate when the elevator doesn't work. Of course, my elevator doesn't go to the top floor, so, you know. There was always that. Okay, so give me a second. Let me see if I think I have one out in the garage. Let me look. Okay, I do. I'll move this out of the way real quick. Okay. So this is a Belgian. Okay. You see the stitching here? It actually allows this book to lay flat. And you can fold it under. Right? So I'm thinking this is the right binding for this. Okay. So let's take it. So you can see, let me open it this way so we can see how this is sewn through. Yes, it's like a medieval ring binding. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing with this one. Now, the drawback to it is we do need to put the pages in before we work on them. So, going to need a new bag. So that we know we have enough room in there. Okay. And so that we can keep them straight when we're binding. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Oh, we're trying to get this kitty cat out. That. And this. I don't know about the owl. We'll see. Come on. Trust your cutter, woman. All right. Get out the spiral goddess. We want this triple. Like that. I don't want that. Let's go to these. So let's get this tree of life out. This is my next tattoo. I like it so much. Okay. Let's get these out. I don't suppose you could actually have a grimoire without a green man in there someplace. So, green man. Hey, Steffi G. Yeah, this is the triple. Mother, Maiden, and Crone. All the same. All incarnations are the same goddess. It's the tattoo I have on the back of my neck. Come think of it, so does my daughter.
It's all-in-one deity.
It's the all-in-one deity. That's right. It's like
the deity that started the thing. But wait, there's more.
yeah. It's also the representation of the divinity of womanhood too. As a young woman, you are maiden. And then, when you have children, mother, obviously. Crone is, it's me. It's when you're old. Being a crone is old. Okay, so I have a few more of these, but I'm not sure that I want to use these particular images, so I'm just going to put them aside for the moment while I decide if I want to use them or, if I want to go with the aesthetic version. I'm going to close that because you know me. I will inevitably drop it on myself. Or Harry will walk along and put his tail under it and step on it. And I'll have a stubby-tailed cat. Yeah, it's... I don't know if I could get it on camera, but... I don't know. Did that show up? Yeah, this one, this is the one I'm having done. And the base, the black on it, the outline is going to be my mom's. Okay, hold on. I can get there. Honey? He's not here. Okay, we're going to get this. Hold on. I know what I can do. Hold on. So hard. Let's see. Oh, not far enough down. Trash. Oh, this is so hard. Oh. Well, actually, it can't be from the cremains. They're sterile. Get down. Get down. Down. Get down. Get down. Don't tell me no. Get down. Rude. All right, we're going to try this. It's just a really awkward around my back. All right, did that happen? Okay. I have one. My daughter has one. A good friend of mine has one. A couple other people that I know. I'm now in the crone, My daughter's still in mother phase. Okay. You can get hepatitis C from bodily fluids, but it has to be, I have to be an expert on this one. My mom died of hep C. It has to be like an open wound to an open access point. So my mom got it when she was paramedic. A guy slid on some ice, went off an embankment, and ended up wrapping his car basically around the bottom of a bridge. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s, before AIDS and all of that became a thing. And so when she got there, he was losing blood and they couldn't figure out what it was. And then she figured it out. There was a big gash in his chest on the side. And one of his ribs had punctured a small hole into his ventricle. And so my mom reached in and put her finger in the dam, so to speak, for the 45-minute ride to the local emergency room. And the guy had hep C. He didn't know it. But she had managed to slice her hand on that broken rib. And she had a pretty big gash on her hand. And so his blood got into her body. And it was probably like 5 years later that his widow reached out and said, you know, she wrote through the local ambulance department, and they then tracked her down to California, because that was back in Jersey. They tracked her to California, and they managed to finally get the letter to her, which was that he had passed away from hepatitis C. He didn't know that he had it, but you know, she had given him 5 or 6 more years with his kids. But the widow felt that she needed to be tested. She got tested, and of course she tested positive. And that's what killed her in 2013. So and she tried all the experimental drugs. And of course, then, you know, in 2014, they came out with a cure for it. So, you know, shit luck. Used to tick me off because I would take her to the doctor, like to the hospital she'd get sick or something. And the minute they found out she had hep C, they treated her like she was some kind of drug addict or an alcoholic or something. Because typically, you know, it's a bloodborne illness. So drug addicts tend to get it. Alcoholics get it. Well, they get psoriasis, which sometimes gets misdiagnosed as hep C. Yeah. Yeah, they just, you know. And back when she got it, back in the late 70s, early 80s, she didn't, you know, they didn't know anything like that. They didn't use rebreather masks and stuff. They just put their mouth over somebody else's mouth and blew. So, but I took care of her for about 15 years through many surgeries, and, you know, illnesses and injuries and things. And I never got it. You just have to be careful. That's, you know, pretty much it. You need to get down. Get down, pussycat. This is not the hairy hour. Yes, it is. Get down. Move. Thank you. You're so rude. Oh, lovely. Yeah, my mom went to get, it was a big deal here in Vegas. She had to go get a colonoscopy. And so she went to get the colonoscopy. And like 6 months later, they're talking about that clinic. There was like this huge surge in hep C cases from that clinic. And my mom was freaking out because she thought maybe she had infected everybody. Come to find out, the doctor and his medical crew there were reusing supplies like IV tubes and stuff like that, to save money, cut corners. They're in prison. They actually sent them to prison for multiple attempted murders. And my mom went, and she's very freaked out about it. And she talked to her doctor, and I talked to her doctor, and they genotyped her hep C and found out that it was not the same as the one that was spread in the clinic. So at least she didn't feel like she had given it to, hundreds of people. But because she was already infected with it, even though it wasn't the same strain, and she couldn't be part of the "you've been exposed to" lawsuit because they deemed that she already had it. So how could they have exposed her to it, kind of thing? But the truth is if they had exposed her to what they had, hers would have mutated, and it would have been all that worse, Yeah, my mom tried interferon, didn't work. She tried Pegasus protocols, didn't work. That one almost killed her. But now they have a new one, and it totally wipes it out. Like it's got like a 99.9% cure rate. So, all right. So we have these. We have our covers. We have this. And now we're going to do these. Okay, we're going to just mark these real quick. So I want to make sure that everything is in them where I want it to be. So I'm just going to kind of, brush through real quick to make sure that everything is evenly spaced. That one. Okay, we're good with that one. Good with that one. And that one's all one, All right, so the read first, I'm thinking. And so, reads, spells, sabbats, potions. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to put these together. And I'm going to get out some big clamps. Well, medium, because I have bigger ones than these. All right, let's see. Okay. Hold on. That is not. Why is that not sitting right? There we go. Okay. Why does that not sit right? All right. Ugh. Raw. Law. Law. Huh. Okay. So now, I'm going to move this back just a little bit, just a hair. Because we're going to take this and we're going to put this on here. Right on the edge. And let me do my lines before we do that. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of that goes into prepping this. I have a whole video on this. Because you may not be able to, get it from this, but yes, this is a pain in the butt. All right. So now I have that on there. And I have my lines. So what I'm going to do is take my ruler and I'm going to stand it up next to my line. Right there. And then I'm going to draw a line up. And then I'm going to do the next one. This is a kind of a very precise way of doing this. And I have to make sure that I hit every single one of these, every signature as I go up and down. Because we need it to be just right. And then this one right here. Okay. So that is where I am going to be punching my holes. Can you guys see them? There. This is where I'm going to be punching my holes to put this in to the book. So for now, I'm going to clamp this back down. That is going to be my thing. What is today? Is it Thursday? Yeah. Whew. And then this is, I'm going to use the same guide. Make sure I got this right. Yep. That's my top. I'm going to be using that same guide to punch the holes once we get the boards covered. Weird, right? Okay, so today I have to go get fabric for this. I'll look out in the garage too and see what I got out there. I might have something that we can use that I like. And I think what I'm going to be doing is I think I'm going to be using fabric on the outside, and then on the inside I'm going to use paper. So we don't want to lose that though, because that is, that's the measurements. Now we've committed to it. All right, so we're going to be making some journaling cards and some tags and things. I got some other stuff, some other things up there we're going to use, that are packaging and stuff we're going to use to make some tags. We're going to be doing that, and not a lot. That's the thing with this. It's not a lot. We don't do a lot in the book because a grimoire is supposed to be the creation of its partner, its owner, its witch. So you don't put a lot of stuff in this. So we're going to go ahead and get this one started and get it worked out. I'm going to get fabric to cover. And tomorrow we're going to build the cover. Okay. We'll do the lacing and everything. It's kind of a very intricate lacing. There, like I said, there is a video. Let me grab this real quick. This is the link to the video. It's a very old video. It's like 4 years old. But that is where I go through the entire process from start to finish. What you're going to get here is going to be a very quick kind of condensed version. That is the long version. All right. That video is, it's almost an hour long. And it is really just kind of building the signatures, doing the cover, making the cover, and then doing the actual poking and stitching. Okay. So that is a good video to watch if you are interested in finding out how to do this. I use the silk cord for this because it's the right dimensions, you know, it's the right millimeter. It doesn't have that waxy feel that you get from the waxed linen, which is more for, you know, putting holding those signatures in. This is more outside work. And so you want to be able to keep that, you know, you don't want the wax there because it collects dust and hair and gross. But so tomorrow we will actually be putting this, hopefully tomorrow we will actually be putting this in. Okay. So I'm going to leave this like this because it's got to, you know, it's really got to be flat as possible. So I'm going to leave it clamped. I might put it under a heavy book. Take the clamps off and put it under a heavy book because I really need it to be as flat as possible. And tomorrow we'll put this thing together. And then we'll get started doing a little bit of decor here and there. Okay? That's it. That's all I got. So I'm going to get out of here because he's going to go live. He's going to start working here in a couple of minutes. He's actually is working right now, but he hasn't gotten any calls. So I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. You know, this is the only one that has a pattern on it. How weird is that? On the metal. Never noticed that before. It's got like a little checkerboard pattern. None of the other ones do. All from the same set. How weird. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got. Listen, if you're new here, push the button for me. If you are hanging around, check out the community tab. Take a look at the Patreon. Look over at the Ko-Fi, whatever you want to, you know, browse. Facebook, links in the description. Until I see you guys again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.